everyone, and welcome to the next interview we have here on World of Darkness channel, this time with Jimmy and Alex. And we gathered here today to discuss the next Darkness Emergent event, which is happening in a very interesting location. Jimmy, can you tell us a little bit more about this?
Yeah, so we're picking up the next chapter in Las Vegas. Las Vegas was a city I think we were considering right from the start. We were just waiting for the right venue, the right time, and this is it. So Chicago event went really well, and Vegas is next.
And Alex, who you may know for really awesome roles in LA by Night and New York by Night, is here with us because... Why are you here with us, Alex?
Because I will be there to participate and to be a very special character. I mean, he's probably just as special as everyone else. No, I'm a guest this year or time in Vegas. I'm very excited. It's been a while since I've done this. But yeah, I'm playing Yaromir Cherney, and it is you'll find out more about them later.
So,
Yeah, can I talk more about him?
So, yeah, if you would like to.
I just want to ask Alex about the clan. Can you do a little clan teaser for us, maybe?
Yeah. So yes, we're a little clan teaser there. Visa Mitzi.
All right, Jimmy, you can go though. I just wanted to have this moment on camera.
Oh yeah, sure, that's fine. Okay, so first, we're so thrilled to have Alex. Alex in our poll was the #1 requested host. So we're super excited to have him this time out.
I don't know why. I don't know why any of you like me.
Well, I don't know why either, Alex. I have no idea. But there's been a lot that's happened, I think, since we last talked. As a result of the Chicago game, we ran a story because we know we're going to Las Vegas, and we thought, well, let's put in the players' hands who controls it. So there was a summit between the Camarilla and the Anarchs. A deal was made, and Las Vegas is now in Anarch control. So yeah. So we then went to thinking, well, who's likely to be in charge? And we thought most likely that's probably Theo Bell. And we wanted to run it as a triumvirate this time. Something a little bit different. I don't think we've ever really seen, an Anarch city that's fully run, not as a collection of territories, but like fully by Anarchs doing all the administration. So when we
Anarchs doing Anarch things.
Exactly. So we thought, who could his allies be? We looked through all of canon, all our scholars went deep into the lore, and we found a longtime resident of Prague, which I can't pronounce the character as well as Alex does yet. Maybe by the event.
Yaromir Cherney.
There we go. We found him. Who is a sort of this dissident resident of Prague. And of course, what happened in Prague a few years ago, which is the Conclave of Prague, where Theo Bell, in a blaze of gunfire, defects from the Camarilla. And as part of our story, this young revolutionary joins him and has since become one of the leaders within the Anarch movement within the city of Las Vegas. So Alex is going to be there to greet you as one of the hosts, and we're so thrilled to have him.
That's amazing.
I'm very excited.
Alex, how do you feel about being a guest on the LARP? Have you LARPed much before? What is your experience?
I have not. I've done a little bit of LARPing here and there throughout the years. My experience is mostly with Vampire Tabletop, but I've gone to a few LARPs, since I started getting more heavily back into Vampire. I didn't do a lot when I was 14 years old, but as an adult, I did more LARPs. But no, I'm very excited. This will absolutely be the biggest LARP I've ever been a part of. And I'm so thrilled to get to go to Vegas and do a cool thing and be this character for everybody. And I'm absolutely stoked to do this.
That's awesome. And I mean, maybe it's a little bit too early to ask, but can we expect some big differences or maybe smaller differences from the other Tsimitsi you've been playing quite recently?
Oh, yeah, there will be big differences. I'm not going to do the same thing. He's not going to be a weirdo. He's going to be a perfectly well-adjusted person.
Like all characters you play. Great.
Yeah.
Jimmy, you mentioned something super fun, which is the fact that this is a little bit of a continuation of the meta plot that was established in Chicago. So there's the fact that Vegas is right now under Anarch control is the direct outcome of what happened in Chicago. Did you plan this beforehand? Like, what was your mastermind plan for this?
We honestly put in player hands. There a summit
Very
between
cool.
the Camarilla and the Anarchs. I gave the Anarch players a long list of objectives and the Camarilla players a long list of objectives. I threw a couple landmines in there, things that I knew that they just fight about. You know, they wouldn't be able to work out. But the players, they very quickly got together and they got very smart. And the Anarchs said, hey, you want this red lister and we want Las Vegas. And they managed to work out a deal. So in exchange for Germain, the Bruja on the red list, control of the city was transferred from the Camarilla.
I did read recently a very interesting post, I think on Tumblr somewhere, where people were talking about how changeling is a perfect, Vegas is a perfect changeling city, just because of you know how weird it is. Like suddenly in the middle of a desert, you have this capital of money and entertainment. How do you feel this setting will shine when it comes to Vampire the Masquerade?
I think it's perfect. I love it as a setting and a backdrop because especially as an Anarch city, because it's all about like, you know, indulgence and being you and freedom, you know. And so like giving the players the opportunity to visit this city where like, you know, there's no, it's not that there's no rules, but there's no more adult supervision, you know. I've envisioned Alex's character is something of like a dark Willy Wonka, where he gets to come in and say like, you know, look at all we can have if there's no rulers, with no prince to stop us.
When Dad isn't home, we get to play around.
A perfectly adjusted individual, you said.
Yeah,
right.
That was he's definitely gonna talk like that.
So you can look forward to Alex completely.
Screaming constantly.
No Jason Carl to tell Alex no on things.
Ooh,
yeah, right. He's been holding me back for years.
Can't wait to see that. Speaking of which, apparently I'm also going to be there, which is wild. First time in Vegas. Alex, have you ever been to Vegas? Can you prepare me?
I have been to Vegas.
Okay, prepare me in one sentence. Give me like a prep talk.
Don't take anything from anyone. Yeah, especially not me. No, it's only about a 4-hour drive from where I live, so it's like it's not that much of a trek to get to, and people go to you know it's a thing. You go to Vegas as an adult. Don't go as a kid. I went as a kid with my family once. That was just weird. Like it's like there's nothing for me to do here. Like it's just like, but no, Vegas is hilarious. It's very wild. So I hope you enjoy your first time.
I am very much waiting. Sorry.
You should lean into it. Get like a really obnoxious Western shirt and like a big cowboy hat, and just have no shame. Just
maybe I should just role play Vampire Elvis or something. I'll think about it.
Yeah. There you go.
Exactly. Yeah. We the more people costume as Elvis for the event, like I mean, there's no limit.
I think it should be like an Elysium rule, like in game, the prince should like come down, not the prince, sorry, the local baron or whoever the leader is. Exactly. Sorry.
We talked about in development ideas. We're like, all right, well, if Alex is playing our Dark Willy Wonka, like we have to give him Oompa Loompas. We thought, well, what if we can get like Elvis impersonators, you know? But like, it's a little bit tough. Like,
I'd love that.
Also, I feel like it would just. I feel like anybody who wants to come to a vampire LARP who is also an Elvis impersonator, I'm good. That's an exhausting human being.
I also think, although it feels like it was 15 years ago, Willy Wonka experience is still in people's heads. So maybe maybe we shouldn't compare to that. But speaking of events and event organization, Jimmy, I mean, we know that Chicago went great because I've heard tons of really awesome testimonials from the community and people who were there and were just absolutely amazed by your work. But did you improve anything since then? Did some things work out and you just want to repeat them in Vegas, or maybe you wanted to do some things differently?
Oh yeah, so the biggest change is that we've gone to 2 nights. People were asking us for 2 nights, like right after San Antonio, and I kind of said no because I thought, well, gosh, it's so much writing just to do the 1 night. You know, we have a very intense development process. It's only 3 months, but we write so many stories, and it's kind of a little trick by design that when people go there, they're like, well, do I follow that storyline or that one, you know? And if they can't, if they have to choose between them, that means that it's easier for everybody to kind of have a serving of stories. So we thought, all right, if we're doubling to 2 nights, we're not doubling the staff. How do we figure out how to kind of keep the same, kind of pace and passion and intensity? So the writing staff and I, they've been doing a great job and working really hard on how to deliver that experience. And we think we figured it out. So should be a great time in Las Vegas.
I'm so excited. I've never done a 2-day LARP before, so that's exciting.
Yeah, it's a little easier. I mean, it's not a 24/7 LARP,
Yeah.
so, but 2 nights. Yeah, I think I think it'll go pretty well.
Yeah, this has to be a super intense experience too, with the 2 nights. But I remember in Chicago, you actually organized something for people who weren't maybe too into super intense experiences, and that was a way to kind of step back and do like a QR code tour through the venue. Are you planning something for more introverted players this time as well?
Yeah, great question. Actually, every time we talk about the event, that usually comes up. That was a really popular idea that one of our storytellers, BJ, had. And what that was is, it started where like you would find a poster that said like lost dog, and it'd be something like dignity or integrity or honor. And it'd be the red QR, it was the plot was called the red QR question from the red question. And you'd scan little codes that were hidden around the site, and you'd learn like more secret truths about the Camarilla and its leadership. So we're bringing that back in its 3rd iteration this time out. And we also one of the things that I challenged the writing staff on, and they were able to, I think they've risen to meet it, as I said, what else can we do that's kind of like that? If we want to have some offerings that don't necessarily require you to, chase down one of the NPC quest givers or, happen to be in the right place with the ST. So we've got a couple more offerings, some story offerings that can be run completely independently of the storytellers at the pace of the player playing the game. I don't want to give away too much just yet, but we have at least we're bringing that back, and we have one other experience in mind that's very similar in terms of style. So I think people like that quite a bit.
That's super cool. I've been LARPing just a little bit. One thanks to your co-production, which is Saturnalia, and I love doing that. But I do admit that for me, one of the biggest issues is staying on top of the socialization, and so many people that you interact with at all times as a basement dweller, obviously. Alex, what do you think is the biggest jump for you when it comes to LARPing from actual plays? Because we of course know you as a really good actual play actor. Do you think there's anything specifically tough about jumping into LARPs?
I mean, the toughest thing is you don't have your accessories and your things sitting in front of you where you can go, if you forget anything, you have a piece of paper in front of you that goes, oh yeah, I have this in Drive. But it's I've done a lot of live event, not excluding LARPs. I started a lot of my career doing live events and interacting with guests. I used to work a lot at haunted houses and stuff like that, and was outside working with the crowd all the time. So that in a way, it's not obviously not the same, but it prepared me in a way to constantly be on and deal with people and be in character regardless of what happens. So that in a way is similar, but it is very different because it feels you get, when you're in a tabletop game, you get a kind of a sphere of safety around yourself. You're like, I have all my things.
Yeah.
I have my stuff, and I can get up and go get a fucking Coke if I want it. But at a LARP, it's very different. You have to be on all the time, or at least be presentable all the time. And it is a very different animal, and I'm excited to dive more into it.
Yeah, I'm just very happy that Jimmy and the crew has planned so many ways to make it more accessible to all of the sort of players, and I definitely will feel very, very happy to have a lot of things to do and to make sure that I'm, just what do I do next? What is happening? But this is going to be really fun. And speaking of being presentable, do you have any fashion plans for the event?
I'm still figuring that out. I do have some ideas, but I'm still deciding how I want to go with this character. Because the way he is normally described is very much kind of like a tech bro in a dark hoodie and blue jeans and sneakers, which is not applicable for the event. So I am finding a new way to present this character, and I'm excited.
Jimmy, speaking of which, when it comes to LARPs, people who are just dressed in absolutely wonderful ways, basically cosplaying as their characters, are one of the best things to witness on LARPs. Anything that particularly stood out for you during Chicago? Something that you either, maybe someone's costume or maybe someone's scene that you witnessed.
Oh gosh, it's hard to kind of put a pin on anything. We for Chicago, we hired a really great group of photographers, some Chicago locals that I met through a friend of mine. Andrew and Tony, they're fantastic. I mean, they do usually like music videos, when they're not doing kind of still work or even commercial work. And so they went nuts with with lighting like all over the place. So I mean, there's so many of the photos that just turn out great. All the people in Chicago, they brought it really, really hard. But I don't want to set too high a bar too in terms of costuming. People who just dress kind of formally. Probably the one piece of advice I give to people who are going to LARPs is like, look for that one piece that you have in your closet that you've never been quite brave enough to really wear, and like, this is your opportunity to wear it. I've got stuff that, impulse buys at thrift shops, like something cool that you see online. You're like, oh, this would be so cool, I'm going to get it. It's like, when are you going to wear it? Well, now. This is the time you wear it. This is the time where everybody wears their cool thing, that that you don't get to wear anywhere else because you're at a LARP, and everybody always looks great at these things. They really, really do.
I was gonna say I could do that, and then I was like, some things in my closet aren't appropriate, and I was like, oh, we are in Vegas.
You're not wear it there. Where are you gonna wear it? Like, this is the last chance for those clothes.
Now I need to step up my game because I imagine that Alex's wardrobe is like way cooler than mine.
It's fine. We'll see.
Western shirt with like embroidered pistols and roses.
Yeah, with a bolo tie and
exactly. Gotta have the bolo tie. You're doing that.
One thing I think I'm gonna do for this year, and something that I appreciated so much on Saturnalia, was how many people also brought their own sort of like handiwork or things they've done before the LARP in order to partially use them as props during the roleplay, but also to maybe give people a little bit of a souvenir from meeting them. And it was something that I haven't experienced that much before, but on Saturnalia I came back with a backpack full of things. People were just giving me some notes, some little trinkets. Have you seen that sort of, is that maybe a new trend, maybe something I haven't caught on the LARP so far, but was it a thing in Chicago as well?
Well, trinket exchanges, it's very common at like Ren fairs, events like I went to Jareth, it's just a small something, like that you've met somebody kind of interesting. I was at Ren fair, in the LA area over the summer. And there was a very charming young woman, and she had like a bag full of like little frogs, and I'm sure she'd gotten them, like in bulk, and they weren't too much. But yeah, from Saturnalia, I got a neat little key bottle opener. I got like a little decision-making coin, that you could flip.
Me too. I have it too.
Oh yeah, I got that person too then. And a few sorts. So I think it's just sort of a cosplay kind of norm, in general. I think it's great. I really, really do. I would be thrilled if more people did it. But it's not mandatory. I always feel so bad because I meet those people and they're like, here's something I made and it's like beautiful and perfect. And and I'm like, oh gosh, I have nothing. Like, I look terrible. Your costume is better than mine. I feel bad, But like, that's not why people do those things. Like, they really do want you to be happy. They don't expect something in return. It's a wonderful act of generosity.
No, yeah, exactly. It's the point of giving it, not of exchanging. The other thing I was going to say about costuming, a thing that I always have to remind myself is wear something that you'll be comfortable in for a long period of time.
Yep.
Or at least comfortable shoes to a certain extent, because nothing will ruin your night more than if you cannot be like, if you're like, oh, everything hurts.
Yeah, definitely. I guess it won't be that much of a problem in Vegas, but I was actually surprised at how cold New Orleans got at night in November, because I prepared, this really cool outfit I had that had no sleeves, and I was in a coat all night because it was so cold.
Yeah.
So it's
It
good to
would,
grab.
but yeah, it probably won't. It probably won't be that cold. It might. I mean, sometimes it can get cold in Vegas, especially in November. It might because the desert does get cold at night. But it
Yeah.
probably, if in the area we're in, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Well, that does bring up a good point. One other thing to highlight. Of course, the event is indoors this time out. It's also indoor. Venue is the same place as the hotel. So I know in Saturnalia, I mean, there's some people who had great costumes, but their heels were very ambitious and did not mix well with the historic cobblestone streets of New Orleans.
Yep.
Chicago, we did shuttles back and forth, but there was still a little bit of delay. But with this event, you'll be able to completely indoors, come down from your hotel room, walk to the venue. And the we mapped it out. I mean, the venue's very close to the rooms. And of course, you walk by the casino. You always have to walk past the casino, but not so far this time out. So people can go a little bit nuts with their costumes and take sensible risks with footwear. Maybe not too crazy.
Perfect. And sorry, Alex?
I just said amazing. Great.
I also want to, of course, ask how many people are you expecting, and do we have tickets still available? Can people still sign up to go and play with us? Because we would love to meet all the other role players and have so much fun in roleplay.
Yes.
Yeah. Tickets still available. I think we're about out. Maybe by the time this airs, we will be out of the Methuselah tickets. I'm not sure. We're usually we often sell out of those, then we scramble to try to find more. That's often very difficult. If we're able to, we typically do. In Chicago, we had an excess of 200. We're expecting that in Las Vegas as well. We think we can draw from the LA market. There's also a lot of very passionate World of Darkness fans in the Las Vegas area, some of whom I haven't seen in a long time. I'm really looking forward to seeing them again.
All right. And what's the best way to follow what you folks are doing? Starting with maybe Alex. Like, people really would love to see your planned cosplay, your planned character. Are you planning to share a little bit before the event? Or
yeah, I never put this social media. Yeah, you can find me. Just look at my name on any social media site, and I got things going on. I play monsters for a living. It's fine. There's things happening, maybe. But yeah, no, I'm very excited to do this. Yeah, I'm sure I'll post some teasers when it gets closer to the event, just to kind of be like, once I figure out what I'm wearing.
And one thing we have to do also is take a selfie together so we can do height comparison. Because that's going to be very fun.
We've never met in person.
No, and it's going to be hilarious. Just imagine, yes.
I'm a tall individual, so.
I'm a hobbit. It's fine. I'm gonna roleplay a hobbit. That's the setting, right? I can be a hobbit in the setting.
Yeah, it's vampires and Hobbiton. It's a very weird crossover.
It works.
Jimmy, where can we follow all of the details about the upcoming event? And maybe for people who will not be able to attend but want to get all the scoop, where can they find the scoop?
Yeah, we have a very lively Discord. We do these events. We've been doing these events twice a year, and we still have a very, very active community. Upwards of 30 posts a day of people, sharing info about their characters, making ties, building hype. We have these political factions that still are actively looking for people and plotting in between games. Just look for Night Studios, and then we should have somewhere in our links a link to the Discord. Feel free to follow us too. We're doing a bunch of previews in the coming weeks. Releasing a bit more about the characters, about the city, this setting, and we'd love to have you as a part of our event. We're very glad to have you as well. We invite you every time. So
I'm happy I can finally come. So this time, of course, for everyone looking for the links, I will be dropping the links. Either if you're watching us on Twitch or on YouTube, you will find them around. And Jimmy, Alex, thank you so much for sharing all that you are excited about for this event. And I cannot wait to meet you again. And for the first time, Alex.
Well, thanks for having us. It's always a pleasure.
See ya.